Hi, it's Eldon from the Mind Body Project. Welcome back to, we're looking at principles of overcoming depression. Today, we've got Triad of Depression. So this is something that you need to know. So when I say Triad of Depression, it's really triad of any emotions. Yeah, so these three things is what you have to know. The first thing is focus. So what we have as human beings is what we call internal representation. And when I ask you to think of a time when you were totally motivated, you will usually come up with an image. Come up with an image of a time when you're motivated. Or if it's a time when you were totally happy, your brain, what you're going to do is you're going to do a thing called a transderivational search, and you're going to go to files in your head and you're going to come up with an image of when you were happy. Now this picture may be in front of you here like this, it may be over here, out here like this, it may be over here in this corner over here, it may be in this corner over here, it may be down here, but you'll have an image, an internal representation. Now, depending on what you do with the image, because you can move the image around, and what will happen is that your feelings will actually change. Yeah, this is how this is why you don't need to do talking so much in therapies, because essentially they're trying to do the same thing but through talking. But I can just move the image around, move the image towards you, and usually it's more intense when you do that. So someone with PTSD, for example, they will have a massive image or a phobia of a thing right here. So every time they think about it, there's this really scary thing right here. It may be a video playing or replaying a video, big, bright, it might be colourful, looking through your own eyes, maybe some sounds attached to it, so it sounds really, really loud, and that's called an internal representation. What you can do is you can change and move all of that around. Yeah, so you can do that. These are called submodalities, and these are, you can move all of this, and so it doesn't really affect you as much. And what I often do is show clients how to do this. Now, it's not very difficult at all, and this will dramatically change how you feel. So you've got your focus. So where focus goes, energy flows. So whatever you focus on most of the time is where you're headed. Yeah. So that's the key thing there. So what are you focusing on? What pictures do you have in your head? Because that's what direction you're going to head in. The next thing, so you've got focus, then you've got language patterns. So language or internal dialogue. So your internal dialogue. So these two things are going to affect your internal representation. So whatever you say to yourself, and it's not the words themselves that's really the issue. It's how you say it, or the tonality that you say it in. Is it soft? Or is it loud? Does it sound like Batman? Yeah, so the tonality is going to change how you feel. So when you're saying things to yourself, so often when someone has anxiety, they're talking to themselves really, really close, and they're saying this to themselves really, really fast, rather than saying things slowly and softly. It makes a big difference to your internal representation or to your internal state, how you say things to yourself. Okay, so you've got your focus, you've got your language patterns, which we'll go more into later, and then you've got the really, really important one. The one that I go to first is physiology. This is what doctors do when someone's depressed. They will give them a pill or antidepressant because it changes physiology some of the time anyway. Okay. So exercise will do that as well. So if someone's depressed or anxious or whatever, I will offer, if, for example, I had a client who's they're on the phone and they were getting really, really wound up and scared, frightened and things. So I just stopped talking because I don't want to do the talking. I have to do the talking therapy thing. So I just said, stop talking. I said, right, stand up for me. I want you to march on the spot. March on the spot, because I know that once their breathing is rhythmic, they go into a high performance state. Yeah, and it calms them down. It takes them out of that state, out of the anxious state, into a high performance state. Yeah, especially when I was getting them to march like that, and then hum to themselves as well. So they're taking out the internal dialogue or the language patterns, and then I was getting them to focus on their daughter. Do all of that. So you control all of those three things. It changes your internal state, changes your internal feelings. This is why exercise is one of the things that you want to be doing on a regular basis, because it gives you feel-good chemicals. So nutrition, especially for depression, is absolutely crucial. 3/4 of the time, someone is eating depression. They are eating it because depression is caused by systemic inflammation or an inflamed brain, which we'll talk more about later. But those three things, Triad of Depression, you've got to understand that that's what's happening. And usually in a group, I will get someone to be depressed, and then I will change the physiology and then tell them to get depressed, and they can't do it because their physiology is not how it would be for depression. It's quite interesting to watch all of this, but so those are the three things anyway. So we'll see you next time for part 3.